Right, hello there. So we're going to have a quick look at algebraic fractions. So I'm going to give you a simple one here. 1 plus 2 over x over x plus 2 over x minus 2. Okay, so as you can see, it's a bit complicated. So the strategy should be to try and get a fraction top and bottom. So I'm going to deal with the top to get this into one fraction, and then we'll use a little algorithm to cancel stuff down and make it nice and neat. So I'm going to leave the bottom as it is. And with the top, I'm going to get a common denominator. Common denominator, that'll be over 1. So the common denominator here will be x, and you're just going to have x plus 2 on the top. So straight away here you can see that you have a fraction on the top and a fraction on the bottom. Now when you have that, there's a little algorithm you can use, and it's a very simple one. You multiply the very, very bottom by the very, very top, and they become your new numerator. Okay, so x minus 2 multiplied by x plus 2 becomes my new numerator. And then the two ones that are closest together, they'll become my new denominator. And as you can see, these will be structured in such a way that you'll be able to cancel. Okay, so as you can see, I can cancel both of them, and my answer becomes x, take away 2 over x. Now you can keep the brackets around if it makes you feel comfortable, but that would be it. Okay, simple enough. You've simplified something really complicated into something very simple. Okay, I'll show you another one. Right, so let's see. 9 minus 1 over y squared over 9 plus 6 over y plus 1 over y squared. Okay, so this one's slightly bit different, as you can see. So I have two strategies here. Okay, now I will show you a little trick after I've done this sum that could make this strategy a bit easier, but I would try and do it the same way if I was kind of just stuck. I would try and get this to be one fraction and try and get this to be one fraction. So that would be the kind of strategy you should kind of go for. So let's have a look. How would I get this to be one fraction? Keep the original one. Top line, y squared is common. So you'll have 9y squared minus 1. So there you have one fraction. How would I get the bottom one? Same idea. Okay, common denominator here would be y squared, and you'd have let's see, 9y squared. You'd have 6y plus 1. Okay, and then we'd use our algorithm again. Okay, top times bottom, and middles go together. Okay, so let's get our new numerator and our new denominator. So we'd have y squared from the bottom multiplied by the whole thing on the top. And we would have the two middles together. We'd have y squared times 9y squared plus 6y plus 1. Okay, so this one looks a bit weirder. So let's see what this one will turn out to be. First of all, I can see I can cancel these. Let's see what I'm left with then. I'm left with 9y squared minus 1 on the top. I'm left with 9y squared plus 6y plus 1 on the bottom. So they don't look like they're solvable, but they are solvable. So I suppose it really is a case of trying to see, can you do something to both of these so that something can be picked out. So if I look very carefully here, some people might be tempted to do that, but that would be wrong because there's a plus or a minus between numbers. That's possible if they're multiplications like these are. So I'm going to factorize this top line. Okay, so if I factorize that top line, that's the difference of two squares. That's a squared number, that's a squared variable, and that's a squared number. Okay, so that's not, so that's sorry, that's 3y plus 1 and 3y minus 1 on the top. Now, wonder what will happen here. This is 3y plus 1 multiplied by 3y plus 1. As you can see. Why? Because 3 times 3 is 9y squared, plus 3y and plus 3y gives you a 6y, and 1 times 1 is 1. So now you can see I can cancel. Okay, so I can do a tiny, tiny bit of cancel. Now, it's not going to be amazingly nicer than it was, but it is going to be a little bit nicer than it was going to end up being in the first place. If you just left it at that stage, you're still not, you definitely could see that there was more room to maneuver on that one. So let's see what happens when I cancel. Okay, so when I cancel, I'm just cancelling one of them with one of them. I'm not cancelling one of them with two of them. I can't. It's like for like changes. So I'm left with 3y minus 1 over 3y plus 1. And there's my answer. Okay, hope that helps.